more on what's happening in the world of gold, let's bring in Jim Wyckoff, Senior Industry Analyst at Kitco Metals. Jim, in many ways, I'm surprised, and in many ways, I'm not. But why have gold prices been climbing so much recently? We talked about, obviously, the concerns in the economy, global economy, the factors behind it. But can this be sustained 15% from the start of the year?
Hi, Sean. Yeah, we have seen some safe haven demand for gold the past couple of weeks, especially given the heightened tensions in the Middle East. And before that, the technical posture for gold had been bullish because prices are in an uptrend. That's inviting the speculative buyer to the long side. We had seen some better economic data coming out of China, also out of the U.S., and that augurs for better consumer and commercial demand for gold also. So yes, prices are trending higher. I think there's more upside for gold and silver.
Okay, so a lot of people now are going to be looking up Costco's 1-800 number to see if they can get in on that. So how safe is an investment for that physical gold in your hands for the average small investor right now?
Well, the average gold investor does not want to own an ETF. He does not want to own anything paper. He wants to own the physical product. He wants to own bullion, because when the going gets really tough, when geopolitics get really tense, the investor is not going to want to rely on his computer to show him how much gold he has in an ETF. He wants that physical bullion in his safe. And so the Costco sales are probably going to continue to climb. Investors, safe haven demand is based on owning the physical product that you can hold in your hands.
You know, you touched on gold ETF, gold IRA as well is out there. Tell me about those and what retail investors think about those. Explain what they are first and why you'd rather have that nugget in your hand than a piece of paper saying, hey, you own some gold.
Well, like I said, the typical investor in gold is someone who is a little bit conservative. He wants to own something he can hold in his hands if the going gets really tough, if infrastructure gets in peril, if the internet or if computers are not, safe to or perceived to be safe to use, if we get into some kind of really serious geopolitical situation. Those are the guys that want to hold the physical product and do not want to rely on, again, on anything that is notifying them on a computer or via the internet, because that when times get really tough, those communication elements are called into question.
Yeah, and Jim, in the spirit of full disclosure, I know Costco's been selling gold for some time. In fact, I've read reports that when they get it in, it's gone the next day. So people are clearly cued into this. What's the overall risk for Costco? I mean, obviously the price could fluctuate up and down, and it could affect their buyers as well. But are there risks out there for this company?
Well, anytime you buy commodities and resell them, you're taking on a certain risk. However, I think with Costco's situation and their prominence in the industry, I don't think they're too worried about losing even a little bit of money on gold. But I think with Costco continuing to sell gold, I think with the trend being up in gold prices, I believe Costco's probably going to stand to profit a little bit. If they're stockpiling gold and reselling to the customers, they've been making some money so far.
You know, I'd love to watch them unload that gold and actually put it in Costco. But you also mentioned silver is doing well right now as well. What would you tell people who are looking for gold and silver? Where should they look? What should they look out for?
Here's what I would say, Sean. Gold prices just last week hit a record high. Silver prices are approaching $30 an ounce, which is about a little more than half of silver's historical high, around $50 an ounce, that was scored a couple decades ago. So if you think about it, with silver a little more than half of its record high price and gold at a record high, it seems to me that silver's a value buying opportunity.
What about central banks? We know that China is leading the world right now and scooping up as much gold as they can. What are central banks doing? Are they trying to buy, or are they just kind of waiting this out?
No, you bet they are, Sean. So central banks just recently have been more interested in stockpiling gold than they have since the Bretton Woods situation back in the early 1970s. So yes, central banks, and that's supposedly the smart money in the marketplace, central banks are stockpiling gold.
Okay, Jim, I've just added gold to my list at Costco along with cereal and some other items, so I'll see you there this weekend. Jim Wyckoff, always a pleasure. Great information.
Thank you.